We're here with Eric Thomas. He's a KW tech trainer, right, Eric?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you also sell real estate in Massachusetts and the
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod, yes.
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. So this is area I've never been to. Sometime I will go there. I've been to Boston, but if I go to Cape Cod, I will definitely look him up.
There you go.
Yeah. So Eric, how long you been a tech trainer for KW for Keller Williams?
Approximately 2011, and probably a little bit before that.
You've been in this game for a while, huh?
Yeah. So yeah. When KW started with the E-Edge product, that's what kind of started it all. And now obviously we're morphing into Command. So just transitioning.
Got it. Well, man, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about the Command, and that's went out, I think, like last year or something. And I heard a lot of agents, struggling with the whole platform. So I don't know how it's going on so far. I'm not at KW. I'm not, but I know that some agents saying, hey, I mean, that's amazing platform. Some people say, I don't know how to use it. So you're the guy who actually explains to people how to use it, right?
Yeah, we try to, and I appreciate that you use the word platform, because that's really what the agents need to understand, the industry needs to understand. So typically when they transition from different things, they normally use words like, my CRM, this, but Command is a platform. So there's a host of a bunch of things that all leverage all the things that a real estate agent needs to do in one platform, which is really the blessing and the curse with it, because as we build this, it's live, right? It's like engineers are right now behind the scenes working on things. So things don't always work 100%. And that's where the agent's trying to get the adoption of. So here's my first plug-in for Command. Use what's working and don't worry about everything else, because it's coming. It's like a well-driven car. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. All right. Yeah, it's coming. Well, basically, I brought you here, so we just wanted to talk to you and get your input on this, because since you are the user of the KW Command, not only user, but you're a trainer, and you're also working with our company Virtudesk with the virtual assistant, and you're training our virtual assistant on Command. So by actually doing this, I think you're doing a great service to, not only to Virtudesk clients, but to the KW agents overall, because people who hire virtual assistants from us, they can get somebody who already knows the platform, who's been trained by you. So this is just something I wanted to, stress out. So could you tell us how you leverage your VA to work on Command, and how can somebody who hires a virtual assistant, and let's say this agent doesn't know Command, how they can, make sure that the virtual assistant will be able to, to use the Command for them in essence?
Okay. Yeah, Pavel. Yeah. I think first, there's probably a couple points. I might be slightly different than, well, I probably am, than other agents in general, that it's very easy to hire a virtual assistant or hire anybody and think of them strictly as task people, right? Well, I don't really use or leverage mine as a task person. She does task, but I really try to teach her what I know and how I use it. So she becomes an extension of me, and being able to do what I can do, obviously not at the same level necessarily, because I know it more. So like right now we're doing a migration, right? So right now we're leveraging from the other system, moving things over to the platform. And that's a lot of heavy lifting. And so you take one system and how the labels are and how it's set up and how the marketing is done, and then moving that to another system. What she does very well for me is being able to take those people that are in one system, moving them over to the other system, inserting the tags that we want, the team tags, and understanding the people. So she'll look at the records, she'll look at the contacts, and start really you're almost talking about years of stuff, right? Just
it's a lot of work. Yeah, I agree. A lot of
right.
tedious tasks. Yeah, that's right.
So on top of that, learning the system, right? Not only doing those tasks, but learning the system as well, because once you get into command as the platform, you start realizing that how these things are connected and how to leverage the different applets in command to do the goal of the team. So listen, she's smarter than me.
well, you know, it's good, man. Do you mind sharing the command screen show agents? What's usually what are you talking about? So
no.
There is a saying, it's better to see it once than to hear about it 100 times, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I'm going to move you to the other screen so I can
go for it then.
All right, and then let me hook up here, share screen. What are we looking at? Number 2. I think we got it there. All right, so you should be able to see my screen. And
I see your screen, yes.
Okay, now you're going to have a limited view because obviously client privilege, confidentiality.
Oh, I get it.
So what you see right here is what we call a smart view, which is the ability to have a certain look and the way you want to see it. So like Shello will log in. She may have
Shello is your virtual assistant. Let's just
yes.
That. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So all right. She may have a different login because not necessarily a login, but a different view of what she's looking at because whatever she's working on. So right now, this is called a smart view. I set this up so I don't have to recreate it, but there's certain people here, which are my test people and they're all me, but so you can look at that, all that information is all
the guinea pig, the aligned resources. Yeah.
Okay. So so what happens here is when I'm working in here, right? And I'm going to just click on the home dashboard, basically where most people would start off at. And what Keller Williams does in the platform, and all of this can be adjusted, right? So I have my tasks, I have goals, I have updates, the database health, which is really a key thing that we work on a lot of trying to get the database health score up. And the health score is really an indicator of the health of your database, right? How many people are in the database that have phone numbers, email addresses, mailing addresses, birthdays, anniversaries. So the healthier your database is, it should be more productive and more profitable, okay? So that's kind of like taking a look at this, of which Cello, she could actually have her own dashboard. But what we spend a lot of time at is in contacts. And contacts would be the CRM, what people would talk about the CRM. Okay, the contact relationship manager. So we spend quite a lot of time in this screen, obviously, because this is where the contacts are. And then I'll just open up I'll go to this one here, opening up a contact record. So all of these tags may not mean anything to other people, but they mean something to Shello and I, right? We know what they mean. Right. They're a quick sort, right? Now this is me. And within here, this left piece here would be the contact card, which would have all the information that you would need on the client, all right? You put all this stuff in there, you fill it all out, right? Over here on this right would be the activity card. So everything that's happening with this client from a timeline perspective shows up here. So opportunities, we won't necessarily spend a time on going through that, but opportunities would be the sales pipeline.
It's basically people are interested in, any kind of a transaction pretty much.
Correct. Yeah. They're interested in a transaction. You're going to move them into an opportunity. So this card here, right? If I wanted to, I could just easily go here to opportunities, and I won't do it for the sake of it right now, but I would just create an opportunity. I'm on the phone with Eric. And here's the beauty too. Shello does this, right?
So she's doing it. Yeah, that's good, man.
Right. So wow. Let me just segue for a second, right?
I mean, learning this whole thing is just overwhelming. I'm looking at this like I've never experienced this myself. Man, I'm looking at this like, whoa, what do I do here?
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of agents are that way,
Yeah. Well, that's why, to simplify it, left side contact card,
Yeah.
right side activity card.
Activity, like this is your CRM, basically, kind of a
Correct.
called CRM. Yeah. Okay.
So right here, my timeline will just tell me everything that's taken place with this contact, everything that happens on the website, everything, email, every text, every phone call, every meeting, everything. That's up to me to set that up, but it's all here. So I can just go back into the timeline. And a nice thing about it is this little feature here, just saying, okay, when was the last time I called? Right? That's all I want to see is the call history. When was the last time I sent a text? All I want to see is the text history, right?
Oh, wow. So you can set a text history, what you actually wrote there and everything, right?
Correct. Okay.
Wow.
So when you're doing that, yes, I can see everything. But if we're working on a very specific opportunity, or, you know, when was the last time I called Eric? Right? I can just go here, look at calls. Oh, February 19th was the last time I called.
About
Eric.
time to pick up the phone, right? Yeah.
Right. So over the top are just your things, right? So I don't want to go into too many details on this webinar with you, but like smart plans, which would be campaigns, but they're smarter than that, right? A smart plan is the ability to consistently be connected with the consumer in a very smart way. So emails, automation, right? It's follow-up automation. That's basically a good way of explaining it, right? It's just, and I can create this. And the beauty, Pavel, here's the beauty of this. Now this gets me excited, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna show you something. Can I show you something?
Yeah, of course, man.
All right. I'm going, let me just pull this up. I pulled this up already, okay?
Smart plans, okay.
So smart plans are all the, and you can just see there's a bunch of them, right? And these
so this
are
thing can actually, this thing can actually do a lead gen as well, right? Generate lead, right?
Yes. So when I'm putting people in here, right? So I can just create the smart plan. And once again, Shello has created smart plans for me, right? She's gone out there and said, what do you want to do? And she goes in there and creates one that we can use. But here's a really cool thing for not only your virtual assistants, but other agents on the call. And in your trainings that we had one of your virtual assistants, which were, I won't say their name, I won't get their agent in trouble, but she was making ISA calls.
And I mean, some states allow that. And that's fine, because that's what we do. We have ISAs. Yeah. And in many states, it's quite legal for non-licensed people to do ISA calls. So
correct.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what she was doing was she was working off of an old, not an old, you know, Excel spreadsheet, different old system. And she was on the training and she wasn't really using command. And I said to her, I said, you should create yourself a smart plan, not for the calls, but just to remind you of what you're supposed to do. She came back a couple of weeks later, she had created the smart plan. So now within command, when she logs in, it tells her, oh yeah, you're supposed to be doing this. So she's working for an agent, but she's created a smart plan for herself to keep herself on check, which is pretty cool.
That's a good way of doing it, actually. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
But here's what I want to show you here.
Is there a dialer? Is there some sort of a dialer integrated into this command, or?
There is not.
Okay.
There was conversation about that. There might be pullback just because of all the different rules. But what I use is the you know, browser to call. Some of the other people use soft phones. We have our texting and our phone service, which is really a offshoot of Twilio. That's what we use for that that service itself. Okay. But what I want to show you here, this is really cool. All right. So here's all these smart plans. You get a brand new agent, a veteran agent, anybody who's never, I don't know what this is. Keller Williams just opened this up about, maybe not even a month ago. But I can go back here and look for all the plans that all the power mega agents have created, right? And I can just use it, right? I can just go in here and say, okay, who do I want to call? What am I looking for? And I can just search by name, right? If there's another agent someplace in the country, right? I can just sit there and say, I want their plan, right? We know there's some names in there. of people that are just power users. So I don't have to recreate anything. I can just go back here and just say, hey, I want a plan. This person here, oh, look at this plan here. You know, I don't know George, but George created a plan. 46 people are using it. He's got 6 stars. Let me try that plan and adjust my marketing based on somebody else's plan. That's really cool. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's just, I just share that because that's relatively new and a lot of our own agents don't realize it's there. And Pavel, as you know, sometimes trying to create something, you get into analysis.
I mean,
paralysis.
yeah, it's a full-time job in out of itself, man. You know, to create something or to learn this thing. And I mean, some people are good at things like that. I mean, and some people usually like salespeople, they're not that great at actually this techie stuff. That's why the help they hired actually comes in quite handy because, you know, as I usually say, I'll delegate stuff that you're not good at to somebody who's good at this, and focus on what you're actually best at. If you're best at serving your client, if you're best at working with people, then delegate tech to somebody who's actually good at it. You know, that's just my take on it. You know,
and that's definitely where Cello and leveraging the VA. If you look here at the top black bar, and then right here, I won't open it because that could be a real client. But see that little dome?
Yeah.
Okay, and it has a red dot. That means that's a notification. You know, just for client privilege, I won't open it in case it's a client's information there. But here's what Shella would do. If I was on, like right now, if I'm on the call with you right now, Shella on her end would go in, open that notification, determine what the feedback is from the consumer, and execute. So,
wow.
Right. So when I come back in, it would just be executed because she would, and we learned this, right? Not every single thing can be done because she hasn't been trained on every aspect. But if she knows that, there's like, if that is a lead, if it's a certain process, then she's going to automatically click it, come down here, add them into the contact card. She's going to do the right tagging. She's going to mark it a lead or a contact based on our flow. She's going to come over here and create a smart plan, and the automated follow-up is started. I log in, I get a note, call Bob.
Okay.
So now you talk about leveraging. Well, yeah. I'm not doing that. She's doing it.
She's doing the leverage for you, basically.
Correct. Right.
How long did it take you to train your virtual assistant on command? I mean, considering you are the command tech guy, you know, so.
How long have we been together?
I mean, it's an ongoing process. I understand that.
Yeah, and I spend, I don't know. I think that'd be a good audit to see how much time people spend with their VAs. I spend a good amount of time because she's an extension of me. Then when I teach my training agents, like the agents in the office, she's on the call too. So she's not only learning my ways, but she's learning the broad scope of it as well. So April, May, June-ish.
So it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, about June. And we're probably
like 4 months already.
Yeah, but right now there's a whole bunch there.
Oh, I think she was with you, man, longer than that. I think me and you, we talked back in March. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, that's when the whole thing started. I remember.
Yeah, maybe it was May, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
March, I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things, Pavel, that like she's done. Well, you're an agent, so you know this. You know how I get fickle. You don't know me, but you know, you start off going down this one path. Ooh, no, shift, go down another path. She shifts with me quite often, and I've got her to a point. I don't want to say I got her to a point. That sounds really, I don't like the way that even sounded. But she's becoming more and more comfortable knowing that she can't break the system, right? That's a big deal, right? Yeah. Doing things and thinking you're going to break something. You can't really break it. Right? It's almost unbreakable.
So you can break command?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, they break it sometimes, but I mean, trying to make it better, but it's not like she can go in there and realize, okay, if I do this, it's not life threatening. I'm not going to lose my contact information. I'm not, you know, I'm not, um, I'm not losing information from years ago, because the ability to merge it and keep it together in one place. And, you know, she'll take the information out of here and she'll actually open up on different spreadsheets to check herself. So she just does a lot of those little things behind the scenes. But for me, what I spend a lot of time with Shello on is understanding me. And that's probably, if I could stress anything, I think that's the best value you could do with the virtual assistant, is not hire somebody as a task person, but definitely, like I'm saying,
an extension of you, basically.
Yeah, she's brighter than me, smarter than me. She cares more about my business than me, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's just powerful. When someone cares about your business and cares about the presentation of your business, that's pretty powerful. Okay.
It is.
And maybe that's just shallow. I don't know, right?
Yeah. It is.
But,
it is a very powerful thing, man.
Absolutely. So when I'm away, I can say, just go ahead and do it. And I have a level of confidence that, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? She can't break it. And she calls people.
Who she does? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Like
yes.
Clients or other agents, or what is it?
Anybody.
Okay.
Like we're migrating right now. So that means we're taking them from an old database to a new database, right?
Okay.
And
does she have to do manually transfer everybody, or?
No, a lot of people have already been merged. We're just cleaning up now, in a sense. So I did a mass sync. I use PySync for a lot too. So a lot of the data is already there. We're just making sure when people are in the other system, like searching for homes, do we have that same search in command? So we have to kind of recreate that, because moving people over, the save searches, the listing alerts don't always go together. So we have to match that. So there's people in the old system, right? And she will reach out to them and say, hey, we're merging, because we send out a thing, we're merging, and did you want to merge with us? You know, so she'll make those calls. We had a property that was on the market, another one came on the market, and I had a bunch of I don't want to say dead leads, I don't like using that word, old leads. And she'd reach out to him and just say, hey, Eric's getting another one. Do you want him to call you? Just simple, right? And we were able to, just that little simple thing, we were able to.
So you actually get appointments from people, probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. So she's pretty much not only handling that part, the command and managing that, but she's actually getting you appointments with real clients.
Yes.
Will, do business with you. That's amazing, man. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
So when you say leverage, Pavel, that's I'm trying to hit and find, the I don't want to say the checklist, but we go through a checklist, right? There's things that we do every day just systematically. But I mean, I just show her and teach her things, and and see where they fit. So on a day-to-day, there might be, like right now, we're migrating, right? There's just a certain thing that she does. So if I'm not teaching her or training her or showing her something new, she's got things that she's doing. She created my, which I'm terrible at, my checklist, right? Inside command and opportunities, right? There's this.
And here's the thing. We do have a checklist available for people who want to get the checklist. Just text leverage at 31996. It's leverage, LEVERAGE. Text it to 31996, and we'll send you the checklist of what a VA can do for you, or how you can leverage your VA, or what tasks you can do on command. And just wanted to let you know, guys, everybody who's watching this webinar, or who will be watching on YouTube later on, Eric is an amazing trainer on tech, and he's helping our virtual assistant to be trained on command, so that when you hire virtual assistants from Virtudesk and you need somebody for command, you will most likely get the person knowing the command because Eric actually doing a great job on command, and we have our virtual assistant join on a call with him when he's teaching his agents how to do it. So, and that's is amazing stuff, Eric. You're not only hiring VA to do tasks, but to actually do things, be an extension of you essentially. That's leverage, yeah, because you cannot be everywhere at the same time. And I think somebody smart once said you only get 24 hours a day, and you cannot buy. I mean, nobody gets more hours. Either you're a billionaire or a, the poorest man. You get the same amount of hours in a day.
True.
You know.
True.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pavel, I'll tell you another thing. This is something that, once again, I know that everyone's going to have a different skill set, but I've also had Cello on my virtual appointments taking the shorthand. Now
Really? Explain.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Share, man. What is it? Would
So
like to know about it.
Yeah. So let's say we have an appointment with a buyer virtual Zoom appointment.
Okay. Because of COVID, that's like very common right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
So on that appointment, I will have Cello be there, introduce, and just have a conversation. And as I'm having a conversation, I'm taking notes, but she's taking detailed notes. And then conversation's over, she'll provide me with the dictation. And then all of a sudden there'll be everything that we talked about. And what makes it really funny for me is like my notes are like shorthand, right? Scribbles. Her notes are like they're categorized. They're in like an order. They're in a process where my mind would not even think about doing that. But I can read that note, and technically, I could hand that note to another agent, and they would have a detailed They would have a detailed understanding of the appointment.
So
now, I didn't ask
like a taken minutes of the meeting, like minutes meeting.
Yes.
Minutes taking.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
But I didn't ask, right? She just kind of like she was on the call, and that's what I got.
That's amazing, and that's what I do with my team. Some of my team when I actually have a meeting with somebody, one of my virtual assistants is on that meeting usually to take notes. And at the end of the appointment or at the end of the meeting, she emails me the minutes to remind me of what's been discussed, what needs to be taken care of. And that's a great way, actually, when you're attending virtual appointments or virtual meetings with people, to have somebody present to take notes. That way, that it's more productive that way. That's great. That's amazing stuff, man.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So I appreciate that, Pavel. And then let me ask you a question. How many virtual assistants do you have? I mean, in general.
In our Manila team, we have over 300 people currently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have, we hiring actually like a lot usually because, as you know, because of the pandemic, the unemployment hit very hard in the Philippines. And we are getting some great talent because a lot of people got laid off, from their jobs. So we're getting some great talent. And they're blessed to have a job, and they're actually we are happy to provide them with a job, and they trying their best to to basically maintain the job because they need to feed their families. So, but again, it's one of those things that you have to consider, I guess. Yeah.
Now I know if you don't mind me asking you a couple questions.
Sure.
How as Keller Williams, agents embrace Virtudesk?
We have quite a lot of KW agents actually hiring Virtudesk virtual assistants. Okay. And so far, people are happy. And I think the training on command that you're providing to the VAs is invaluable because a lot of agents that we spoke with, KW agents, they do not know command themselves. And because they're good at selling homes, they're good at closing deals, but the tech training is just not for everybody, So that's why when we see people hiring VAs from us, they want to make sure that VAs know commands because they didn't know it themselves. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. I know the some of the VAs that come on, which is pretty diverse. I gotta tell you that some of them will come on and they'll have like maybe two questions, right? They're working on something, and it's like trying to figure it out, and they'll just come on and they'll pop the question and say, hey, what about this? Is there a way of doing this? If something's not quite working right, you know, we'll work through some solutions. What would I do? I find that valuable. I learn from them, right? They'll say something like, okay, that's a new way of looking at something. So I want to say sometimes it's almost a two-way street where they'll be working on something and then they'll kind of share something. And then what I like doing is that problem solving where I'll take them to some place. And I would do this with the agents, same thing, same exact thing. Mm-hmm. Take them to command and show them how they can leverage command and not spend money on third-party things when you have a tool like command. And that's
there are a lot of and command is provided for free to KW agents, right? They don't have to pay extra for that, right?
Yeah, you don't have to pay extra. I mean, there's a certain structure that
there's nothing really for free, but you know what I mean. You don't have to shell off extra money for that.
Right. Yeah, our technology fees and whatever.
Yeah.
If we're getting this thing,
it's part of it already. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's. I used to do a class in the early days where I would show a horse and buggy, right? A Model T, you know, like a fastback Mustang, and then a spaceship. Okay, and the image was some people are using the buggy. It works. It gets you there, right? Yeah, and people move through it. Command is that spaceship, and one of the things that I'm leveraging Shello on is teaching her how to drive it.
Just teaching her how to drive, exactly.
So I can almost remove a lot from what I'm doing, and if I can become the task person, right, and just call Bob, meet Henry, you know, call George. That's it. So because within command, and I'm going to show you one more thing here. I think I can get by with. Where are we at here? Design.
Oh, you can do designs. I wanted to see that. Yeah, that's interesting part right there. Okay. You can create designs and
instead of going to Canva or any of these other things within command, right? Now, all these things at the top, that's her.
Okay.
All right. The things at the bottom that look goofy are me. But see, so what we started doing was the ability to go on to Facebook and within command be able to post.
So that stuff can be posted on your social media, right? You can print out a flyer, looks like, on your agent side, landing page. You see, yeah.
Wow. So we can do all this now. This task right here, Cello's kind of just taking ownership of it, right? And what it is that one of my game plans is to have a post of this nature and goes out on Thursdays, right? We have a certain rhythm that we try to get to. She did the first one and it came out better than mine, and she can just do it all and post it. But the reality of it is that she goes in there and finds these images in command and just puts it out there. Now,
so the images are available, right, in the command, like royalty free, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's already just in command that you can just pull from, and then she just does it herself. So, you know, I'm not going to open everything, but the reality of it is, you know, email marketing, landing pages for the website, social media, print, right?
Like a flyer, yeah.
Postcards, agent site, once again, the consumer site there, the ability to have embedded videos, right? So this is all in command. But I guess what I'm saying is that once I kind of got her to what to do, I didn't instruct her to do this. This is just like her going, what do you want? Okay, done, right? all
Perfect.
within
Yeah.
command. She doesn't have to go outside. She doesn't have to change anything. I have access to it all. And the beauty, I'm going to show you one more thing here, if I may.
And one more thing.
Campaigns, right?
All right.
So now within command, Cello can execute my strategy, my touch program, and she can do it, right? So when I come back in here, I have the ability, now this is the marketing angle of it, but she does this, right? She can go in here, paid ads, right? If we're going to have a postcard, it's all there. If she's going to do an email newsletter, it's all here. Excuse me, paid ads would be pay-per-click, Google.
Yeah, like Google ads or Facebook ads, right?
Correct. Direct mail, social post. And the beauty of this little thing right here, which is, this is really a plug for agents. If you're watching, if you're a Keller Williams agent and you're not using command to the full, I implore you to get with somebody, because there's so many things that it does right now that it just
makes your life easier.
Powerful, right?
Yeah.
So here on social posts, right? Your VA can come in here. Oh, we did something. We published that.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't do that. She did it.
I know she did. Yeah.
Okay. But you can see here the calendar, right? You can just go out for the whole month and you can see on Thursday, the 22nd, we've already got posts scheduled. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing that. I'm not doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful right there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I know a lot of other systems, can do it, but the beauty of command is the interconnectivity of it and the protection of the agent's data. I want to stress that. That's probably another big thing that, that's one thing Keller Williams is very keen on, is protecting your consumers' data, your data. You're out there getting the names, and when you're using other systems, sometimes if you look at some of the rules, they talk about what they can do with your data. At Keller Williams, we have the pledge, and that pledge is that it's your data, and moving forward, I think it's going to be a bigger deal for most people. But that it's really nice to know that in Keller Williams, if you're joining, this is your data. If something happens tomorrow, it's your data. Take it with you, have fun. It's all there.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Eric. You actually did a very good job explaining what command is and what virtual assistant can actually help Keller Williams agent do with that command, and how you can, as a Keller Williams agent, basically shine with it, and you don't have to know the technical stuff of it. It's very easy, and your VA would be able to help you, get appointments with it, and as Eric explained, be on the meetings with you, and do all kinds of stuff. Again, just wanted to remind you, if you want to get a checklist, please text leverage to 31996, and my team will send it out to you. Also, if you have any questions about how to get a virtual assistant, please let us know, and we'll get you going.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
You see my screen? I think I have your checklist.
I do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Text leverage 31996 right there. We'll send you the checklist. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, Eric. Well, thank you very much, man. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. You have a good day, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.